Well, the first time in 651 days, a big crowd was at Camp Randall Stadium on Saturday afternoon as the Badgers opened their season against the Penn State Nittany Lions. A little bit of a game of coulda, shoulda for the Badgers, though. Too many mistakes on the doorstep of the goal line, and it proved costly as Penn State turned back the Badgers 16-10. We'll hear from some of the Badgers after the game. We'll check in with quarterback Graham Mertz, and we'll have our weekly conversation with head coach Paul Chryst. All coming up on today's edition of the Badgers Sports Report.
Two receivers right, two receivers left on the Penn State 21-yard line. Back to throw is Clifford. Looking, throws. That got knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete as the Wisconsin defense stays salty here early in the second quarter. The Penn State 48-yard line. Mertz a play fake. Drops to throw. Fires to the left. Danny Davis got it. 30 to the 25 and out of bounds. In Penn State territory, Joey Porter Jr., the cornerback. Lucy back in there at tailback from the Penn State 25-yard line. First down at 10 and end around to the left. Pryor to the 25. Little stop and go to the 20 and out of bounds near the 15-yard line. Woo, sweet move from Kendrick Pryor. Mertz drops to throw. Pressure coming, throwing over the middle. Ferguson, oh, what a catch! Inside the 5-yard line and down to the 3. Oh, he had to reach out and one-handed, and Ferguson pulls it in. First and goal at the 3. Penn State late, getting its personnel on the field. Mertz hands off Lucy over the left side. Touchdown, Wisconsin! Jasmine Lucy into the end zone, and the Badgers are in for the first time in 2021. Third down, clock is running. 9 seconds, 8 seconds, trips to the right. Mertz to throw, winds up, fires down the middle, and it's intercepted by Jair Brown inside the 10. He'll slide to the turf. Game over. Penn State wins it. Way too many mistakes made by the home team today as the Penn State Nittany Lions hold off Wisconsin 16-10.
Gave us a chance to be in it and gave us a chance for it, but we've got to also find a way to finish. And again, you have to give the opponent credit in Penn State, and it's a tough loss. And we've got to all learn from it, and there's going to be some things that you want to build on, and we've got to do that. And obviously, it's very obvious, and there'll be other things that we've got to correct and move forward if we want to be a good football team, which I think we can be.
Play fake, Mertz, back to throw, lines up. He's a deep right side. DK got it. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Met behind the line of scrimmage and thrown down by Leo Chanel. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Kendrick Pryor. Mertz floats it deep left side. Dropped it in the bucket. There is a big, big win for the Wisconsin Badgers.
The Badger Sports Report with Paul Chryst is presented by UW Health, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org. And is brought to you by the Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors. BuildingWisconsinTogether.com.
When you've been injured, you need the hometown team on your side. Trust us to get you back in the game. Call Wisconsin's own GRUBER Law Offices, proud partner of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. One call, that's all.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Hard work, sweat, knowledge in your own 2 hands. These are the tools that build Wisconsin. Leave your mark on the real world with zero debt and higher pay. All from day one. It's time to do work that works for you. Learn more at buildingwisconsintogether.com.
On this game day, Good Foods Guacamole would like to salute all you players, no matter what you seem to be playing. You, sir, are a winner. You, ma'am, triumphant, and thumbs up to whatever it is you're doing. So let's hoist a guac-laden chip to all you players out there. Good Foods Guac, made from the freshest avocado and the cleanest ingredients. So here's to all the players and whatever game it is they're trying to play. Game day is Guac Day. Good Foods Guac.
Injured? You need a team you can trust. Call GRUBER Law Offices today, serving the people of Wisconsin for over 30 years. GRUBER Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. One call, that's all.
Obviously not proud of how it ended. There are definitely a lot of things that fell on my plate that I need to clean up, and I will. I'm going to do everything and anything I can to make sure I'm ready to go, and this team's ready to go.
We beat ourselves up a lot in the red zone, and obviously it hurt us in the end, but I think it's something that we'll focus on earlier and then get that fixed.
I didn't expect much mistakes out of this group, and I think we had very few mistakes. I think with the mistakes we had, we should have still won the game. But I think they're definitely, going to happen throughout the season, and they're definitely needed throughout the season to learn from and grow.
We're just going to use this game as fuel to ignite it. There's a long season, and got a lot of work to do, and a lot of big things to come.
We can't let one game beat us multiple times. We got to be able to bounce back and come back next week and just get back on track and learn from our mistakes.
Guys went out there and guys put their hearts out, and you could see that. And there was no quit. I mean, a lot of resilience even at the end there. Still giving ourselves a chance to go out and win this game. Guys wanted it, and all that kind of leads into why it's so tough.
Guys are hungry, and that never changes. And it's still down there right now. It's not changed. We all know it's a long season. Game one obviously didn't go our way, but great opportunity to learn. And for us, we know there's a longer road, and they're hungry, ready to go.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. WEAbenefits.com.
My favorite breakfast is Odyssey yogurt. I asked Mommy where it comes from, and she took me to a dairy farm to learn all about milk and, most importantly, cows. Wisconsin cows are definitely the happiest, which means they make the tastiest yogurt. My favorite is blueberry. What's your flavor? Support your local farmers. EIEI Odyssey.
Play clock down to 6. Clifford gets him set. Out of the shotgun, takes the snap. Badgers rushing 3. Clifford is hammered inside the 5 to 25-yard line. Whoa, Nick Herbig getting there in a hurry and sending Clifford to the turf.
Well, the first game is behind him. The Badgers getting ready for game number 2 against Eastern Michigan coming up on Saturday night. And great to have the fans back at Camp Randall Stadium as we now have our conversation with head coach Paul Chryst. And Paul, you mentioned this last year as everybody was trying to get through a season with the pandemic. You were going to have a lot of first-year players who are still going to need another year before they can check some boxes. You've got some guys playing in front of fans for the first time in the game against Penn State, going to class. Class is now getting underway this week. It is a little bit different. It's almost like freshman year part 2, isn't it?
It really is, and certainly, last year we were kind of thinking about it, but as you're kind of seeing them go through it right now, just so much of their first year really didn't experience a lot of it. You talked about it for game day, the opportunity to play in front of the fans, and that's, they all came, and when you're recruiting them and they're getting to know, Camp Randall on game day is a big deal, and so for them to be able to experience this, you had 2 classes two groups of guys experiencing that for the first time. And then, like you said, with classes starting and classes in person and people on campus, and that is something that they're not used to. And even just for our schedule, when you were going and it was such a virtual world last year, we had a number of meetings that were just through the Zoom. Now classes are in person, our meetings are in person, and so I think there really is, it's a very different feel for the first year kids last year. This is a different experience, and obviously for our first year kids, this is very different than what they did in high school, especially considering the change from high school to college, but also what their last year of high school is like. So there is a lot of firsts that we're kind of going through, and that's also kind of fun to see them go through it.
Well, another fun part of it too, I think, for high school players, and we obviously can't get into specifics as to who was here, but a big part of it, as you mentioned a moment ago, the atmosphere of a game day, and you can get some young athletes who are taking their visits. You did it all the time before, but after a year of not, it has to be really refreshing to have that available again, right?
It is refreshing. It almost seems like it's a new, hey, they just passed this opportunity to be able to have, underclassmen come to your games, and so that was obviously a positive. And you think about it, our incoming freshmen this year, they really were not on campus the whole year. Their official visit was the same weekend that they checked in and started classes. But it was great being able to have, prospective student athletes come to our games. And like you said, get a chance to feel and understand and really in person see what it is that makes Camp Randall so special. And we do believe it is unique, and it's a great selling point. And when they get the opportunity, they're excited to be here, and it's been great being able to have that happen again.
One other note we didn't get to before the first show, before the Penn State game, but one of the fun parts, even for me as an observer, is when you get to see guys who played who come back. During fall camp, you had Bo Allen, Jack Sitchie. In the springtime, I think J.J. Watt paid a visit.
Yep.
I mean, when those guys have something to say, I would imagine now they should be listening to all of you as coaches, but somebody who's either currently in the league or maybe just removed from it, that's got to be worth its weight in gold when those guys come back and talk to these guys.
It really is, and it was awesome having, Sitch is fun to be around all the time, and but he was kind of all in and was at meetings and around and very accessible to the guys. And the same thing, Bo Allen was back and had been in the weight room earlier, so guys have gotten to know them, and I think when they get comfortable, then they can truly ask some questions and understand it. And I thought one of the neat things we did this summer, was having guys come back and speak, and we've got Calvin Barrett, and not just guys that have gone and played in the NFL, but Brad Nortman spoke to the team, Troy Vincent spoke to the team. You mentioned about JJ coming back, and those resonate. And what's really neat about it, and I think powerful, is they were in those same seats. Just the other night, Chris McIntosh, he's speaking to him as our new athletic director, but could point to the seat that he was in the team meeting room. And so I think if you can also paint a vision for the players of, what, you do this and you do it the right way, and everyone's way is different, but there's so many possibilities out there. But having those guys back, it means a ton. And I've always felt this, that it is the players' program, and to have them back, it means everything.
And it means a lot to the guys who come back, because it's truly, I know it's the line, once a Badger, always a Badger, but Troy Vincent's eyes light up, right? And on down the line, it means something to have been here, and it means a lot for them to come back here when they can.
It does, and also, when you talk about Sitch and the way Sitchie played the game, loved it, and it reminds me of one of our younger players, Aaron Witt. So I wanted Aaron Witt to meet Sitch, and so I told Sitch, I said, I'm going to introduce you to this guy. I said, it reminds me about you. I said, you're both just that right amount off center, and you love the game. And so introduced him, and Aaron spent a lot of time with him, and Sitch was real good. And Aaron came up to my office. He said, Coach, he goes, that was one of the highlights. Meeting Jack Sitchie, I looked up to him. And, we forget, the kind of the age and where they were at, that here's somebody said, I said, Witter, it's no different than you're going to be that in 5 years, 6 years. And someone will be looking at, I said, but he's a regular guy just like you. Right. And I think that's always fun to see, too, that, one, they're approachable, and two, that can be you. And I think that's why guys come back, too, because Sitch or Bo Allen, whoever that is, someone else helped them, and so it's a way that they can kind of pay it back.
You think of all the memories of these guys, probably flashbacks to everybody. Jack Sitchy, of course, 3-sack Jack, just as USC a few years ago in the Holiday Bowl. Stay with us. We have more to come as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
Compeer Financial has always been there for our clients and communities in any situation. And our support continues today as our clients work relentlessly to feed, clothe, and fuel the world. Compeer is proud to continue our strong commitment to our clients, the rural communities where they live, and to agriculture. We're here to help meet the financial needs of rural America. And we'll navigate through this together.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Hard to imagine making a better first impression than Graham Mertz made last October against Illinois. And everybody liked to throw 5 touchdowns in his first ever start, as Graham joins us now. And Graham, it was a crazy year in every aspect, and you don't need me to tell you that. But given everything that you guys had to deal with after the Illinois game, if it was COVID, if it was injuries, and didn't know who was available week in and week out, as tough as that might have been as it was happening, it's that old line, does it make you stronger, you think, now?
I think I was just talking to someone the other day, and my biggest thing is, like, looking back at last year, like, obviously things didn't go right. Didn't go the way we wanted to in a lot of different areas. And for me, it was, like, the month after the season, I was home and just had, like, a good month of reflection. And I was like, all right, you went through all that. How can you grow and how can you learn from that? And for me, it's like, seeing the guys this winter, spring, summer, like how they approached it and just attacked it and truly used it as a learning experience and grew from it. I think that, like, I'll look back on that year as the turning point of my career, as it turned into a grown man and becoming a pro here. So I think that in total that was a great year. Like, it wasn't a great year for us, but it was a great learning experience for us and an opportunity to grow.
Hearing some of your teammates talk, and this even goes back to spring ball, and again, it's a cliche alert thing, I'm about to spring on you, but it's almost like there's a chip on the shoulder here. It's like, hey, this team's better than what you saw. We get everybody healthy and look out. Is that an accurate observation?
100%. I mean, we know what we're capable of. We got a bunch of guys that were on that Rose Bowl team and know the work that needs to be done ahead of time before the season, and I think that we approached it pretty close to that year too. So I think that you could say a chip on the shoulder, but it's more of a chip to get back to the old smart, tough, dependable, punch-in-the-mouth Wisconsin team.
That's the thing. I'm glad you said that, because we all know that things are changing in the world of college athletics. There are a lot of things. And yet it's still the formula of success here. You heard it when you were being recruited. That doesn't change, right?
Hey, the work comes first. My dad, growing up, my mom, our big family motto was work works. And in life, you can wish for things, or you can just sit down and work for it. And I know that this team's it's a work works team right here that we got. So the guys are excited. I
know fans are excited. I would imagine the quarterback yourself is with KP, with Kendrick Pryor, Danny Davis. But I thought last year with somebody like Chimere Dike, who you guys were raving about in camp, and Devin Chandler and AJ Abbott in the spring, intrigued that those guys are ready to maybe ratchet it up a little bit more. Looks like you could have some pretty good weapons around.
Yeah, it's one thing that we really worked on this spring and summer was just the attention to detail in just our approach of an offense in our passing game. And like, all right, we can be good and we can be running that route at 14 yards. We can be great and it needs to be 16 and no deeper than that. So it was our big thing that I was proud about was how they approached it and just the crazy attention to detail that they brought to every day, every throwing session, every workout. that we really hadn't seen in a while. Like obviously we had that, but it was just a different level out of those guys that I was juiced up to see, and that gets a quarterback fired up when he's got playmakers excited to work. So.
Yeah, no doubt. I know you've had this question a lot, but we talk about the changes that are going on in college athletics. Part of it is name, image, and likeness. Athletes have an opportunity now to make some money. Somebody like you're going to have a lot of things thrown at you. As a quarterback, you have a lot of bodies, coming your way.
Yeah.
Is it, I don't know if easy is the right word, but is it manageable to be able to do what you need to do there and get yourself focused on this other stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I had a really good talk with Coach Chryst once we kind of figured out that this is like the new world of college athletics with all the NIL stuff. And he looked at me, he's like, I'm going to approach it this way. And this is his words to me. This is what you do in the pros. You got to be ready for it. And for me, it's the approach that I've took is just like, it's great to make some money on the side, but it's also, that's not the main purpose of why I'm here. And my purpose is to win games out there. So if you win games out here, the money will come. So I'm not stressing about it, but it's definitely, it's a new world. So there's not a lot of stuff coming right now, but I'm sure there is for other people, but I'm not stressed about it. So.
Let me circle back. You mentioned Coach Chryst. We'll get back to football-related questions because he's the head coach / quarterbacks coach. What's that like being in a room with him now? He said he's had to narrow the focus, obviously, at times because he's coaching you and Chase and everybody else in the room.
It's awesome. It's awesome. It was great learning from Coach Bud, and he taught me so much as far as like defensive recognition, just offensive general information, and then it was great to have Coach Chryst come in now and just kind of sharpen the axe on all that stuff and really just take a complete ownership of the offense in the quarterback room. So it's been great. I've loved every second of it.
You feel like the game can slow down a little bit for you because it's a transition. I mean, you're a very football smart guy. Everybody says that, but you were going through it as a starter for the first time last year.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this year it can maybe slow a little bit for you? You kind of see what's happening with a more clear picture? Yes.
That statement is completely correct. For me last year, just when I went back and reflected on it, there were definitely times where I might have watched too much film and seen too many different coverages, and I kind of confused myself at some points. But Coach Chryst, we've done a great job of kind of working off each other and figuring out, all right, how are we going to simplify this so you can just go. And it might not be simple to other people, but to us it's simple. So it's been great just to work with him and truly, in that statement, work with him. And he works off of me, I work off of him. So it's been awesome. He truly opens it up to discussion and hears all the players out and everything that we got. So I think that's big time.
Final one for you. How cool was it to actually have a off-season conditioning program and to have this weird thing called spring practice and summer workouts, and you could actually kind of do things the way things were always done until 2020?
It was great. It was great just to get back in that team environment and truly grow together. Like the year before the COVID year, it was you're on your own for half the year before the season, so you're training on your own. You weren't training with your buddies out here running cross fields, maxing out in the weight room. So for us, it was great to just get together and have that just sense of ownership of the team and how do we want this team to grow up? What do we want it to be? And I think that it was just great to finally have a whole year to get together and work. And the team's awesome right now. The team's great.
Appreciate Normal more than ever, right? I understand.
Yeah.
As quarterback Graham Mertz, stay with us. We have more to come as this week's edition of the Badger Sports Report continues.
Hard work, sweat, knowledge, and your own two hands. These are the tools that build Wisconsin. Leave your mark on the real world with zero debt and higher pay. All from day one. It's time to do work that works for you. Learn more at buildingwisconsintogether.com.
On this game day, Good Foods Guacamole would like to salute all you players, no matter what you seem to be playing. You, sir, are a winner. You, ma'am, triumphant, and thumbs up to whatever it is you're doing. So let's hoist a guac-laden chip to all you players out there. Good Foods Guac, made from the freshest avocado and the cleanest ingredients. So here's to all the players and whatever game it is they're trying to play. Game day is Guac Day. Good Foods Guac.
The Badger Sports Report with Paul Chryst is presented by UW Health.
the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org. And is brought to you by the Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors. BuildingWisconsinTogether.com.
The next two games, the Badgers will step out of conference play coming up this Saturday at Camp Randall, Eastern Michigan, out of the Mid-American Conference. A game under the lights Saturday night here at Camp Randall Stadium. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
This has been a presentation from Learfield.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. WEAbenefits.com.
My favorite breakfast is Odyssey yogurt. I asked Mommy where it comes from, and she took me to a dairy farm to learn all about milk and, most importantly, cows. Wisconsin cows are definitely the happiest, which means they make the tastiest yogurt. My favorite is blueberry. What's your flavor? Support your local farmers. EIEI Odyssey.